How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rowlett, and welcome back to a brand new video. So, what are some of your favorite Pokemon? Well, today I want to take a look at those Pokemon and ruin them. Yeah, totally. Either way, I'm just messing with you. Instead, I want to take a look at some Pokemon that might get new regional forms in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But also, here's the question of the day, and also the comment from the previous video that was chosen. Here it is on the screen right now. Thank you for leaving that comment, so thank you for answering the question. There'll be another comment featured from last video at the end of this video. But either way, here's the question for today. What Pokemon would you make a regional variant for if you got to choose? Okay, so that's that. Now, let's continue on. There are quite a few different Pokemon that could get regional variants given to them, and in this case, we'll be avoiding Pokemon that already have regional variants. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, like including something like Meowth in here again doesn't really work because Meowth already has 2 regional variants and forms. So yeah, let's keep that in mind, shall we? And also links to all the artists featured in the description down below. Let's get started. So we start this off with the Forgotten Snake Pokemon and its pre-evolution Ekans, as well as Arbok, right? But honestly, they've sort of been forgotten over the years, and with the introduction of like other snake Pokemon, they have had to take like a backseat. However, I think it would be cool to actually see that change with perhaps the introduction of a new form of Arbok and Ekans. And in this case, we have a representation that could be a fire type. See, this was made by Greg and Raid, and he created a fire type Arbok for his Maoki region, which I would recommend checking out on his Instagram, which is linked down below. It's a region he's making on his own. Definitely check it out. However, Arbok, that is a fire type, does actually make a lot of sense for Sinnoh, given that Sinnoh, the region itself, lacks a lot of fire type Pokemon, so having a snaky fellow in there, like, it just makes sense to me. I don't know about you guys. I think it would make a great addition to a region that already sort of does lack fire types, so definitely a great addition to add in there. Then on the other side of the spectrum, we have a new form for Pokemon that does have a Mega Evolution and Gigantamax form, essentially, and that perhaps compared to Ekans and Arbok is far less deserving of getting a Pokemon regional variant to it, but I think Gengar in its pre-evolution, Haunter, and Ghastly would be cool to see new forms for. And this comes from the fact that getting Gengar back in Generation 4 was honestly quite a bit of a strange thing and a bit of a hassle sometimes, as it required you to have a very specific Nintendo DS, aka the original one, which also you could put Game Boy cartridges into, which I didn't own that. Most people owned like DS Lites, whatever. But if you had that and you put Ruby, Sapphire, etc. in there, basically what would happen is you'd be able to encounter Gengar in the game, and that was pretty much how you got it. However, if you didn't have this, then you wouldn't really be able to actually encounter Ghastly, etc. in there. It just wouldn't be that possible, and you could only get a Haunter from a trade, but that Haunter held an item, making it unable to evolve while traded. So then I'm thinking, oh, a nice homage would be like really cool to perhaps see a new form of Gengar included in this rework of Sinnoh, this remake, right? Perhaps similar to the Gengar Haunter and Ghastly, jeez, Ghastly, but created by Elite Four for their fan game Xenoverse, or for the fan game by the Weedle channel, right? But basically, Xenoverse is a fantastic game, and the Ghastly, Gengar, and also the Haunter in there are actually really cool designs, and they look pretty awesome, so why not include a form for these guys? They're already popular Pokemon, and it would actually make a lot of sense. Now, this one is a tad strange, I will agree, but Greg and Raid made a female version of Lucario named Lucario, and required to have a Dawnstone and a High Friendship to evolve at night time only. And honestly, I don't know about you guys, but ever since the introduction of basically like Glade showed up, we kind of had this like idea that there could always be like a male and female evolution of certain Pokemon added in, and it's made me want to see more of these things happen. And in this case, I think Lucario having a form that would be like a female one would be really freaking cool and awesome of an addition to have, but also could make for some funny episodes in the Pokemon anime, you know, journey series, like with Ash's Lucario and stuff. They can make some interesting fun stuff about that. And also, this kind of leads neatly into another form that would be great addition to have, that being the addition of specifically a male form of Vespy Queen, with this Vesper design also coming from Greg and Raid. So yeah, Greg and Raid, by the way, shout out to you, dog. You make some amazing work. Link to your stuff is down below. See, this is another case where it could be like really great to have a male form of the Pokemon, since otherwise you're essentially running around with a male combi that you got really no use for, right? Also, this design is really subtle and easy like to look at, because it looks very similar to the you know, the Queen. It like perfectly matches with the Queen, with Vespy Queen, right? And I think it would make a lot of sense for them to introduce this, with the only issue perhaps being that normally in beehives you have a queen and there ain't no emperor or king in there, you know what I mean? Ain't really much of a thing in there, and I guess that would go against that logic, and the queen is the priority over everyone else in the hive. But I don't know why we couldn't just make little like, instead of being a Vespy Queen, the male ones are like little soldiers or whatever. Like that could work as well. I do think though a male like Vespy Queen or a male evolution for Combi would be a great new form to have. Now, Teddy Ursa takes center stage next. I don't know about you all, but I love Teddy Ursa and its evolution Ursaring. Yeah, sure, they're both merely a cub and a bear essentially, but I've always had like a soft spot for these two, and for some reason, we've never really seen them get any form of like really anything at all in the games, right? Actually, a lot of Generation 2 Pokemon have often been like neglected and forgotten when it comes to the games, but if we're gonna get a new form, then this design right here by Extra Parth, it would be a great one, I think. Making Teddy Ursa a dark and ground type mixture, which I honestly think is a really much more fun one than the normal usual typing that it has, right? Which is the normal typing. It tends to be a little bit boring, like when it comes to just what it is, right? Like it's just a boring typing, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So why not include a typing on it like dark and ground that just makes it more fun, right? It just makes it a more fun Pokemon to have in your team. That's just what I think. See, the fiery Macargo and its pre-evolution Slugma are next. So this time it's a Twisteroo compared to the Arbok, requiring it to be a fire type due to the lack of, fire types in the Sinnoh region. With Macargo, it would make sense that this Pokemon would have adjusted to the much harsher cold environment in the Sinnoh region as a way to cope and survive, so why not introduce an ice-type Macargo and Slugma? Like these two designs by none else than Startboy, an amazing artist that has made loads of like really amazing designs and just a whole region concept that I'm going to cover soon, as I covered it almost 3 years ago last time. It could be nice to go back into it and cover the whole project in a whole video, so I'm going to do that very soon. But this design is great. It gives it this like really ice typey feeling, and I've always thought that Macargo and Slugma would get some form of ice evolution, or sorry, ice form, but it never really happened, so why not give that right now? Then we have the depressing but sometimes fun and somewhat broken competitively Shuckle. Now this design here was made by Extra Parth, who also made the design we showed earlier of Teddy Ursa. This one, however, is more like kind of like a sad and creepy depiction of what Shuckle could look like if it was lost in the forest. Perhaps this Shuckle was somewhere deep in the dark parts of the forest of Sinnoh, and now has gotten partially consumed by the fungus on its shell. And also its shell, it's a log rather than the natural one that it usually has, perhaps because its original shell broke, so it had to get basically its hands on a replacement, and in this case it was essentially a log that also had a parasite on it, or a fungus. So would you like a Shuckle like this to be added into Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl? Personally, I'd love that. I think Shuckle is an underrated Pokemon that deserves some extra love. I mean, look at the slimy boy, why not give him some love? Now if you know me, you know I have to include this Pokemon on the list, but I really need to see a regional variant of Lapras at some point, or a Mega Evolution, or Pre-Evolution, or just really anything. I mean, it really feels like Lapras got the short end of the stick and never got anything done to it in the past first generation, like, when it comes to recognition, right? It got nothing. Even in the anime, it's forgotten ever since, like, what, the first and second generation of the anime? So perhaps giving it some love back with even a simple and clean design like this one, like such a clean design by Diego Guillerme, who would you, I mean, geez, this would be great. It would be a great choice with just subtle changes to it, making it a Lapras that perhaps was secluded in certain parts of the waters of Sinnoh, but that now has re-emerged into the world. Like, what do you think about that? Or also, this could maybe fit well into Legends Arceus instead. I mean, that's honestly my honest truth here. That could fit really well in there. And also, if you want to see a video on the top 10 new forms, like regional forms for, Legends Arceus, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, following the trend of me wanting to see new gender forms of certain Pokemon, I thought, why not include none else than male Salandit in here? Now, this design by TrixPix shows what a Salazar could look like, which would be a male form of Salandit, right? It would essentially be a more bulky and large Salandit that looks far more like a large crocodile bear hunky boy, rather than the sleek, cool design of Salandit normally. This one is really sick though, but personally, I'd love to see a gender variation added to Salandit. However, this seems highly unlikely, to be honest, to be something that they will do anytime soon, because it's a very recent Pokemon, meaning that's more unlikely to happen. But I still think it would be cool to see a male Salandit in the future. So, at the start, I did say I was only going to include Pokemon that haven't already gotten forms, but I wanted to also include this Psychic Flying Zapdos form, made by Elite Four, as an honorable mention, as I find the colors and design to just be beautiful. And with all the hate Zapdos is getting from Pokemon Unite right now, it makes sense to give this guy some added love, because he's having to go through quite some pain from all the people angry that Zapdos basically lost him their rank up game. I mean, hey bro, it ain't my, I know the feeling, okay? I get it. I also hate Zapdos sometimes, but that's why I think the design was cool, and I thought, why not give him some love? However, the actual final Pokemon on this list will be this really epic and alien-like design of Tentacruel and Tentacool. Now, these designs are made by Darkcore, an awesome artist that is making a whole Pokedex with only regional forms called Pokemon Form Edition. Now, you can check out this region project in the link down below, and actually all the stuff I've talked about will be linked down below. But damn, I never thought one of the, like, splurgy boys could warrant my interest, but these variants look amazing, and they make these like Pokemon actually look so different, and they give a different feeling. They look really alien-like. So why not give Tentacool and Tentacruel a new form as well as a pre-evolution that Darkcore added? Why not? Like, this is just so cool. And yeah, by the way, this project by Darkcore is seemingly mainly like a regional Pokedex and not a ROM hack. However, if you want to actually take a look at some fan games and ROM hacks, you should check out our top 10 video covering the best ROM hacks to play in 2021. Check it out right here, or press the button in the corner and go watch that video if you want to see the top 10 best Pokemon ROM hacks in 2021 to play right now, as the project here by, you know, Darkcore is just a region dex. But if you want to play actual Pokemon games that are made by fans, then check out that video. Either way, that's it for this video. And yeah, that is it more or less. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like, and also there is the question of the day from our previous video right here on the screen right now. Check it out. And of course, thank you so much for leaving that comment. And then there is, of course, the question of the day. What Pokemon would you want to see a regional variant for? Either way, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get to 1,000 likes on this video. You guys can expect to see me covering the regional forms we could see in Legends Arceus, as we have done 2 parts about this before, and I thought I'd make a 3rd one for all you to enjoy. Either way, have a great day, and I'll see you all the next time. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.